South American journey continues in Ecuador. Once we stepped into the old city, it was clear we were immersed in history once again. The narrow cobblestone streets, colorful buildings, grand plazas, and centuries-old churches offered a glimpse into Ecuador's rich colonial and indigenous influences. Even though the city already sits at a high elevation, we found the best panoramic view at the top of the Teleferico cable car. We figured that a bit of hiking at this higher elevation would better prepare us for what's to come. To our shock, there was not a single person lining up for the cable cars. Despite the captivating scenery, we have noticed something strange about this place all morning. Something was not right about this city. Something was off. The streets were too empty and quiet for a place like this. It feels as though there is this heavy shroud over the city that sucked the joy and vibe out of this place. Where are all the tourists? Cotopaxi in Quechua means the neck of the moon, peaking at 5,897 meters. It's the second highest active volcano in Ecuador. Unable to find other tourists to join our group, our guide drives and takes just the two of us for the day to the national park. Without much time to acclimatize, I decided to forego the overnight ascent to the top. Instead, we climbed as high as we could past 5,000 meters to the edge of the glacier before dropping down to the Refugio Cotopaxi, which is a lodge for hikers and climbers. The terrain is steep but not technical. The air, however, is thinner than anything I've ever experienced. And I can feel my lungs working hard for each step forward. At the edge of the glacier, we witness a height and a view that can only be described as soul awakening. Looking out into a space so vast that we can only marvel in silence and humility.
Okay. Yep. All the rope is this way. These you have to walk aside. Yep. Yep.
The lodge is a well-kept building with a cafe on the main level and accommodations on the upper floors. After enjoying a cup of their best-selling hot chocolate, we make a quick descent to our car. More exercise and thrill awaits as we get ready to bike down the mountain and make a short detour to a nearby lagoon. Our guide puts our bike together and follows us from behind like a Tour de France support team. From our guide, we learn more about why there is a lack of tourists. Shocked by the revelation, we begin to search the news from the earlier part of the year to learn more about what exactly has happened.
In 2023, more than 8,000 people were violently killed, including police, politicians.
Headline after headline, we discover how violence and internal conflict between government and drug cartels manifested into a national security crisis.
Prison guards are taken hostage.
Acabo de firmar el decreto de estado de excepción para que las Fuerzas Armadas tengan
We had absolutely no idea.
su accionar.
Chaos and confusion spill out onto the streets. Armed gangsters take over a public TV station, live on air. State of internal armed conflict is declared. Soldiers storm the prisons.
Estos grupos narcoterroristas pretenden amedrentarnos y creen que cederemos ante sus demandas. Nosotros no vamos a negociar con terroristas.
In the months that followed, soldiers were deployed to the streets and thousands of arrests were made.
Most of the violence was played out in Guayaquil, but it seems the tourism industry has been totally wiped out. And to the locals, we have become the rare and brave foreigner to be in the land. Enlightened by what we have learned, we continue our journey with caution and empathy for the tension in the city. Dominating the skyline are landmarks like the majestic Basilica Nacional. I loved how this church allows the public to explore both its main sanctuary and its inner sanctums. By elevator and stairs, we were able to explore the inner workings of its towers and enjoy the view from an open roof. With Ecuador being at the equator, we were obliged to pay a visit to a theme park called Middle of the World, if only to boast that we were able to set our feet on both hemispheres. Although I wouldn't say it's a full-blown tourist trap, I wouldn't regret too much about skipping this place if we had to. One of the much anticipated destinations on the itinerary was a day trip to the famed Otavalo Saturday market. And here, in this little unassuming town, is the largest market in South America for local handmade products. Our next guided tour takes us to a hidden gem just a few hours from Quito. On this tour, we were happy to be joined by a fellow traveler from the US. Nestled in the cloud forest, the Mindo Valley is a paradise for nature lovers and thrill seekers alike. From bird and butterfly watching, to hiking and chasing waterfalls, from ziplining to tubing down the Mindo River, the list of activities goes on.
Thank you.
Having never been on a zipline at these heights, it certainly got our adrenaline pumping fast.
Excellent. Okay, enjoy
What I like about this place is that it didn't feel like an overly commercialized tourist place. We didn't feel like operators were looking at us with dollar signs in their eyes. And there was a very warm and personal approach to receiving us as foreigners.
전准备好了。
We end our excursion with a guided tour of a local artisanal chocolate factory. We were enlightened with all there is to know about the making of dark chocolate. And to truly appreciate this process, how could we not sample the product, along with one of the richest cups of hot chocolate I have ever tasted? And perhaps bittersweet would be the best way to describe how we felt as we bade farewell to this land that not only sits in the middle of the world, but is right now in the middle of an internal struggle that we hope will subside soon. Because we definitely look forward to coming back to explore more of its understated charm and beauty.